This is another post that I'm working, and I just want to say that the chemtrails definitely have something to do with the mind control. I think people are being mind controlled to do this gang stalking stuff. I honestly believe that. I think the only people that are aware of what's going on are the handlers. But I think the other people that they get to do the street theater and to approach you sometimes, or the people that kind of like cross your path or get in your way or just rude to you out of nowhere, I really do believe that the chemtrail has a whole lot to do with it. As you can see, this chemtrail going across the sky right now. And then look at this over here. X marks the spot. They did a little cross thing right there. And this is everywhere I go. Every post I go to, I work on different sides of town in Houston, Texas. And I pay attention to the skies. I get the planes that cross over my head. And this is the chemtrail. They made an X symbol in the sky. So I definitely believe that this chemtrail has a lot to do with the mind control. Because when I first got here, everybody was cool, you know. It seemed like everyone was cool. And then they started bringing the planes out, doing the flybys, spreading those chemicals in the air. And the next thing you know, people go into chaos mode. So I just wanted to document this. This is a totally different post than what I normally work. And they put a big X right there, I guess to mark or to pinpoint where I'm at. And the craziest thing about this is no one tells you anything about what's going on. I had a talk with a neighbor today, and you know, I confided in him in a little bit. You know, I would always you know, say hello or speak whenever I would see him or whatever. And oh look, there's another one over there. So I asked him, I said, is there some kind of did I do something wrong in this neighborhood? Because I haven't even lived in this neighborhood a whole like 5 months or even 4 months. It's been probably about 4 months since I've been there. Oh, there's another one. So they're obviously doing this like right around me, in my vicinity. There's one there, there's one there, the X one. And then there's this one going straight across. And then there's that one over there. And you can tell this isn't cloud. Like if you just look at the, how can I put it? If you look at the texture of the whiteness, like you can obviously tell that that's not cloud. That's something else. I guess that's the chemtrail spread out. But this is crazy. And what's so shocking and surprising is that when you turn on the 6 o'clock news or the 10 o'clock news at night or even the morning news, you don't hear anybody asking what this is. Like nobody is saying anything about what this stuff is in the sky. That is insane. Like, am I the only person with eyes? And then when I talk to people or ask people about it, they look at me like I'm crazy, or I guess people feel like, well, what can we do about it? Okay, so what if it is chemicals up there? We can't go up there and tell them to stop doing that. You know, that's probably the mentality that they have, but wouldn't they like to know exactly why they're doing it and what exactly is in that stuff? Could it be the reason why people are going crazy around here? Shooting up places, and I don't know. But anyways, going back to the neighbor's conversation, I asked him, I said, was there something that I did that the neighborhood is mad at me about? And he kind of looked at me strange, like, He kind of shook his head. He didn't really speak too much on it. And then I gave more explanation. I told him I've been experiencing a lot of just weird, noticing neighbors doing a lot of weird stuff when I come outside, like, you know, deliberately just kind of walking in my way or doing little hand signals and gestures, I guess letting other people know that I'm outside, and sending their dogs over my way, and having their dogs go into my car and take pisses in my car, and just crazy stuff like that. And I explained to him that, you know, I'm being targeted. I want to say by the government, because the government are the only people that can pull this kind of stuff off. But yet when you try to report it, nothing gets done. There's another plane. It doesn't have a chemtrail thing behind it, but I believe that's one of those surveillance airplanes. But anyways, he basically didn't know anything that was going on. He even told me himself that he had been experiencing some weird things. I don't think he's a TI, but he works at there's a local neighborhood store that he works at, that I've seen him work at, you know, from time to time or whatever, whenever I go in there. And he mentioned that he was also experiencing some very weird things. People asking him, telling him that he looks familiar, and, you know, just stuff like that. And he didn't know who the people were, but they claimed that they knew him, and it was like different people that was doing it. So anyways, this is gonna be one of my first videos I'll probably put up on YouTube in reference to gang stalking. There's a whole lot of stuff that I've experienced that regrettably I have not put on video, because my mentality on this whole thing is, man, I've been such an observer for the longest time. I've just sat back and watched all this stuff, weirdness happen around me. And the few times that I've actually tried to reach out to law enforcement, which has actually only been twice, and I've been dealing with this since September of 2014, was when I first started noticing all the weirdness and madness going on. Law enforcement they don't do anything about it. As a matter of fact, the first time I even mentioned something about what was going on, I didn't even tell them that I'm a TI or none of that stuff. I just explained to them some of the things that I was dealing with. And it was two cops, and they had the whole good cop, bad cop thing going. So the good cop is asking me, well, why haven't you filed a report before? And I explained to him that I had to try to get my facts together and proof and things of that nature. I didn't want to just come make a report about something and not have proof to back it up. And the bad cop immediately, he mentions to me, have you tried to get some help? And my response to him was, that's what I'm doing right now, trying to get some help. And he's like, no, have you tried to go see someone? Have you tried to see a doctor? So at that point, I immediately canceled that whole dealing with them or transaction. I immediately stopped talking to them, because I already knew where it was gonna go. So at that point, based off all my research on gang stalking, how other people have tried to complain about it, I just came to the realization that there was nothing that's going to be done about it. This is something that I'm just going to have to endure, and maybe it's just going to take divine intervention to get this to stop or to get help. There's this chemtrail here. Wow, it's like this one just came out of nowhere. This curvy one. Yeah, sometimes they do the 666 thing in the sky. Sometimes they do the pentagram. So I don't, you know, all this is very ritualistic. When they do the street theater, when they do stuff like this in the sky, when they're doing their hand signals and just doing just all this weirdness, it's ritualistic, and the people that are involved, I don't think they're aware. Like I said, the handlers know what's going on, but the other regular people that just out of nowhere are rude to you for no reason, or they just get all riled up and amped up on you, I really believe that they're being mind controlled. I totally and honestly, I'm almost like 95% sure that's what it is. They're being mind controlled. That's what this stuff is. And the reason why this stuff doesn't work on us TIs is because maybe our brains are not susceptible to this type of manipulation. So that's why we're being targeted. Our brains are not susceptible to this crap. So rather than kill us off, maybe they need us around so they can try to find other ways or try to perfect their methods more by keeping us around. You know, that's a thought. But yeah, like I said, I work security at nights. What time is it now? It's about 18:48, something like that. About 18:48. Sun's starting to go down. And so yeah, this is crazy. This is really crazy. But yeah, this will probably be one of my first YouTube videos in reference to gang stalking. I've been an observer for the longest time. I've always made comments on other people's videos, things of that nature. And I was very skeptical about putting anything up right away, because like I don't want to put a video up and not have actual proof. I know sometimes you can show videos of you being harassed, but to the untrained eye, to anyone, regular person that's not really trained to pay attention to their surroundings and just really be watchful on people's actions, it's just gonna look like regular people if you don't look at it carefully. So I'm trying to come up with methods and ways of putting together videos to where it's so obvious that there's no question about it. And there's another one. As I'm speaking now, there's another plane. They're definitely trying to make some kind of shape or symbol, because see, there's the X there, and then back down the other way, which is where I just came from, back down that way around the corner, that other X is still over there. So I swear this is mind control. It has something to do. And there's a bunch of these planes. Like, look at this. There's another one up there that's spraying, that just started one. So this is all above me. This is not like, you know, this is all above where I'm at right now. You can also see the moon a little bit, the little crescent right there, a little dot in the middle of this. So yeah, this stuff is really insane. Like, nobody's asking questions about it. The only thing you hear is when you go on social media, you know, you hear people excuse me, regular people like us having to go on there and talk about what's really going on in the world. If you want to really know what's going on in the world, you have to turn to social media, because the real media is not going to tell you everything that's going on. They're paid off and bought off by the powers that be, the elites, or whatever you want to call them. So they're going to broadcast whatever BS they want to further deceive the people. But at this point, like I said, there's really, man cannot help us. There's no man on this planet that can help us with this, because it's too big. Like, it even says in the Bible, the world will be given onto the hands of the wicked. I think it's worded like that. The world will be given into the hands of the wicked. And that's exactly what this is. If any of you have never believed in the Bible before, or believe in God or the Son of God, you might want to definitely make a change. You definitely want to make a change and start reading the Bible and start talking to the Creator, start praying to the Creator, because this stuff, it's all in the Bible. I was so fascinated as to some of the stuff that I've been experiencing, and how you can go to the Bible and look up things, and it's saying the exact thing that's happening to us is what goes on in the Bible, what the Bible's talked about for a long time. Oh man, this is so it's crazy. There's a little noise going off in the distance. I guess there's like a stadium over there. I don't know if it's a school or a park. But yeah, everybody's over there kind of playing, like, I guess they're playing basketball. And I guarantee you nobody is looking up at the sky. Nobody's even talking about what's going on in the sky.